You want to improve your sleep for the rest of your life? Check out this video for 6 tips that'll help you do that.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Coach Tonya and welcome. Are you plagued with lousy, terrible sleep? Join the club. Although I can't complain about my sleep, but there are so many people, the number's staggering, the number of people who really, if they could fix anything outside of weight, which is always going to be a #1 topic, it would be their sleep. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 ways that you can help sustain and maintain better sleep. Hopefully, moving forward for the rest of your life. But before I share my 6 secrets with you, or tips, I should say, they're not really secrets, but tips. I want you to check out that pinned comment below. This is the unlock your hip flexors. Now, a lot of people don't pay attention to their hip flexors, and this ties in beautifully with what I'm going to be talking about, because part of sleeping is having good sleep posture, being able to relax, and the body being, there's a lot of things that happen with the body at night. Tight hip flexors are plaguing so many of us and causing so many issues with our posture, with our digestion, our respiration, our ability to move, our ability to relax and sleep. So if you're struggling with sleep, if you're struggling with just about anything, and you do a lot of sitting and not a lot of moving, there's a very good chance you've got really tight hip flexors. And this product down here is by far the best hip flexors product I have ever used myself. I use this program. I can't say enough about it. It's so good. So please click on that link. It's going to take you to a page. You can read all about that product and find out how you can get it right now for yourself. It's really good. Okay. How do we improve our sleep? Well, there's a lot of things that can be done. Again, this is one of these topics that I'm going to, and I have been making several videos about sleep and things that we can do to improve our sleep, to maintain better sleep, to get better quality sleep. This video I'm going to be focusing more on the circadian rhythm. For those of you that have never heard of it or not sure what it is, again, I got all my notes. Circadian rhythm is your sleep. It's your natural sleep-wake cycle. You kind of got this internal clock that's just kind of wired inside you. And it's about responding to light and darkness. And it's part of that, your body has this 24-hour internal clock. And the circadian rhythm is it's something inside us. It's not, it's not something that we necessarily develop, although it's certainly something we can really mess up. Because of our days and travel and all kinds of things, but it's naturally born into us. It's there, and it works actually really well on its own. But we're human beings with lives and all kinds of things going on, and a lot of these outside influences have and can have an impact and influence on how well our circadian rhythm works, how efficient it is, and if it's do we need to do something to try to reset it, because you can do that. The circadian rhythm ultimately helps your body. It helps to make sure that your body's processes are optimized at various points in that 24-hour cycle. Your body never stops. Just because, we stop, we go to sleep, nothing ever stops inside this vessel. And actually there are certain functions, processes, reactions that only happen, or that happen most at night. You have to actually be in a state of rest for some of these things to happen. So a lot of repair work, a lot of growth, a lot of things are happening at night that can only happen at night if they're going to be done to the very best of their ability. So if you're not sleeping well, or you're struggling to stay asleep, that stuff isn't happening the best it can be. And we really want to avoid that, or want to improve it. We want to avoid it. And if we're having trouble avoiding it, we definitely need to do something to improve it. So, the circadian rhythm, basically, it coordinates mental and physical systems throughout your body. And this is just constantly ongoing, okay? So it's super important. Sleep is so underrated as to how important it is. So important. I'll tell you right now, for those of you that are parents of teenagers, if you think they're sleeping a lot, it's okay. I mean, clearly there's probably a limit to that, but they probably are the most tired beings on the planet other than newborn babies. Okay? That's their circadian rhythm at work. So you can think about the circadian rhythm as like something that runs, it's throughout your body, and it's connected to what I like to call the master clock. I have it written here. It's the master clock, which is the circadian pacemaker in your brain, and it's found in your hypothalamus, and it's very sensitive to light. We have daylight and we have nighttime. And this is key in terms of kind of like switching, I don't want to say switching on because that implies it switches off, but it's a key element in triggering that circadian rhythm in your body. So when your circadian rhythm is thrown off, your body systems really don't function optimally. So what are 6 things that we can do to maintain a more healthy circadian rhythm and hopefully get better sleep? Number 1 is getting daily exposure to natural sunlight, particularly in the morning, okay? This really reinforces a strong circadian cue. So you open your eyes, you see daylight, boom. Your body, your brain knows it's daytime. It's time to get up and do stuff, okay? So hitting snooze is not a good idea. I'm guilty of it too, but just a little tip, don't hit snooze. I actually might have that in here already. I might be repeating myself. But it's important to, when you get up in the morning and you open your eyes and your brain receives that light, get up and get going. That's one really great way to enforce a strong circadian rhythm or an optimal circadian rhythm. This one I struggle with, and that is avoid caffeine, especially in the afternoon, because that can interfere. I have it written here. This can keep you awake and interfere with the balance of sleep and wakefulness. So basically, do I think that one cup of coffee or 2 spread out in the afternoon is bad? No, I don't think it's bad. And frankly, I do it myself. I'm usually awake between 5 and 5:30. If I don't hit snooze. If I do, it's 5:45. And for me, between 11 and 2, I do start to feel a little tired, a little draggy. I do a lot of research, I do a lot of writing, I'm at that computer, there's just a lot of stuff coming in, and I get tired. So, I have my meals are all prepped and I bring them to work, but I do find that in the afternoon, usually for me it's 1, I rarely have 2 unless I know I'm gonna be working really late, like 10 o'clock or later, but usually I have 1 cup of coffee somewhere, usually it's around 2 o'clock, right before our afternoon meeting. And I just need that little pick-me-up. It doesn't affect my sleep. Now, if I'm not gonna tell you what time I go to bed because I go to bed the same time that like most 10-year-olds do. But if I were to have a second cup, say at 3 or 4 o'clock, that probably would throw off my ability to fall into a restful state of sleep in the evening. If I'm working till 10 or 11, not a problem. I might have that second cup, but I usually know that ahead of time. So getting back to, do I think it's a bad thing? No, but if you are struggling with your sleep, if you find that you have a hard time falling asleep, if you find that you can't stay asleep, you're up throughout the night, and if you are someone that is an afternoon coffee drinker and more than 1 cup, you probably want to address that. If you have 2 to 3 cups, maybe back it off to 1 cup and figure out where in the middle. Like if you're drinking coffee from 1 to 4, maybe at 2:30 you have 1 cup. That might be a good test to see if you find after, maybe a week, 10 days of doing that all of a sudden it's a little easier to fall asleep. That's great data, that's great feedback from your body, letting you know that all that extra caffeine you were taking in the afternoon was interfering with that circadian, was throwing things off, okay? So avoid caffeine, especially in the afternoon. If you're having a cup, I don't think that's a problem unless you're really struggling, okay? So it comes down to how bad is your sleep and how much coffee are you drinking, because I'm not giving up my afternoon cup of coffee. Just not gonna do it, but my sleep's fine. So we're all good. Then what am I on? I'm losing my train of thought here. Number 3. Okay. Try to avoid naps. But if you have to have them, keep them short. And I think it is, 12, 13 minutes? It's in another video I talk about this. If you have to have a nap. Because here's the deal. Some people actually need that short afternoon, the cat nap, and they perform very well. It works. It doesn't throw off their circadian rhythm. They're good nighttime sleepers and they need that afternoon nap. And as a matter of fact, Winston Churchill had a nap every afternoon. But he didn't sleep for a half an hour or 45 minutes or an hour. He didn't. He had a cat nap. I don't know exactly how long his nap was, but I know that you can Google that. You can Google that and get back to me on what the exact time was. But I know that he did have an afternoon nap and he swore by it, that it helped him. So once again, figure out, like if you find that you're just in the afternoon, you're lagging and you're falling asleep at your desk, or you're falling asleep at home and you wake up, it's a half hour later, and then at nighttime you're struggling to fall asleep, I'm going to stick my neck out and say that afternoon nap isn't doing you any favors. So you might be better off altering your bedtime schedule. Maybe you need to go to bed earlier. Maybe you need to wake up earlier. I don't know, but I would suggest working on your bedtime as opposed to keeping that nap because I need that nap. I'm so tired. Why are you tired? Now, granted, depending what's going on in your life, maybe you've been sick, maybe you've had surgery, maybe you've got a brand new baby. I don't know. Maybe you just came back from a holiday and you're falling into, you can't help yourself, you're falling into an afternoon nap just because you are exhausted. Okay, that happens to everybody. But if you're a habitual napper and you have lousy sleep, I'm going to challenge you to work on your sleep schedule and try to eliminate that nap, or at least reduce it greatly, and see what that does, okay? Next, be consistent with your sleep schedule. This is so important and it can be so easily ignored, but your body and your circadian rhythm responds so amazingly to a routine. If you've ever had children, how well did they respond to a routine? Like how well? It's amazing. That right there to me is just proof positive that our bodies are wired and designed to, they follow schedule and routine really well. We work well with a schedule. If you're going to bed at 9 o'clock one night and 11 o'clock the next night, and then the weekend you're not getting into bed till 2 a.m. or something and you're sleeping till noon, if your sleep is like that, your circadian rhythm is like, okay, it's all over the place, and no wonder you're not sleeping well. So you really need to be a lot more disciplined in establishing a sleep schedule that you can stick to, that you're going to be consistent with. And yes, you're going to have weekends and times that you're going to bed late, you're staying up late, maybe you're on a holiday, maybe you're at a wedding, maybe just out for an evening having fun. That happens. But if 85-90% of the time you have a set sleep schedule, your body is going to operate a lot better. That circadian rhythm is going to be a lot more optimal in how it functions and supporting better sleep for you. Okay. Regular exercise. Okay, that just helps support that internal master clock. Get up and move your body. Do some movement. Your body is meant to move. We need to burn off energy. We need to exercise and move the body, and that just helps a healthy circadian rhythm. What do I have here? Oh, limit light. Okay, yes. This is one, again, that I can be very guilty of because I'm somebody that will say, I'm done for the day. I'm going to hop into bed, and then I grab the computer and I'm like, I'll just check those emails one more time. And then 9 emails later, I'm still answering emails and reading research papers. Not a good thing. I don't do that all the time, though. Limit light starting an hour before your bedtime. So this goes back to you actually have to have an established bedtime. So you need to know when you're going to bed. Are you going to bed at 10 o'clock? Are you going to bed at 9 o'clock? Are you going to bed at 11 o'clock? No judgment here. But you need to know what time you're going to bed. And an hour before, you really do need to limit your exposure to light from things like computers, phones, iPads, televisions. Is it bad that you want to watch a little TV before bed? No. Is it bad that you want to, maybe pull out the computer and because there's a few last minute things you want to get done before going to the office tomorrow? No, there's some things you can do. You can wear these wonderful glasses with the yellow lenses that help with the blue light that's emitted from computer screens and mobile phones. You can also limit your time, be very disciplined. You've got to be disciplined with this. I wear the yellow lens glasses almost all the time. However, I've only just recently started doing this because I'm really bad, that if I say I'm going to bed and then I end up grabbing the computer or the laptop because I can't help myself, I've got to check those work emails right before going to bed, I set a timer on my phone, 15 minutes. And if whatever I don't get done in 15 minutes can wait till the morning. Because really what am I going to say? I'm not going to save the world that night. I'm never going to save the world. I'd like to. But there's no email that I'm going to answer or send in that moment that's going to so drastically alter things by the next morning that my day is either going to be made that much better or that much worse. So either shut them off completely, which is what I'm in favor of, but being a bit of a hypocrite if I say that, because I'm not good at it yet, getting better. Shut things off completely. You can also switch to the nighttime modes, and that does, it changes the glow. I'll just call it the glow or the hue, like your phone all of a sudden will look more yellowish, okay? So that just, again, reduces that blue light emission. Limit your time. Okay, and starting an hour before, be very conscious of that. If you grab the phone, if you grab the laptop, if you grab the iPad, limit your time, because that will ultimately be reducing your exposure. So instead of spending that full hour on the computer, maybe it's 20 minutes. And maybe you're gonna have to wean yourself off of it. Maybe you're gonna have to start with 45 minutes and then 30 minutes, okay? But do your very best, starting an hour before your bedtime, set your bedtime, reducing your exposure to these things. Okay, so those were the 6 things that I wanted to share with you, but I have a bonus, and it is to create the ultimate sleep environment for yourself. Now that's gonna be very individual specific. I think a lot of us know what works for us, what helps to get us in the zone, what helps us to feel more relaxed, to fall into a really optimal state of sleep, and to support a quality sleep throughout the night. A few things I wanna say about that I would like you to keep in mind when creating your Eden sleep environment is that's not what I wanted to say. What I want to say is you want to keep your room as dark as possible. When you think about it, the circadian rhythm is sensitive to light. So creating a sleep environment that is dark is optimal in supporting the function of that circadian rhythm, supporting a healthy circadian rhythm, and supporting a really great, quality of sleep for yourself. Other things might be, like a diffuser with essential oils. Lavender is a very calming, relaxing one. You can get apps for your phone where you can get white noise. Some people, that really does help them. It just kind of takes their brain. It helps to kind of numb or turn their brain off from thinking about what happened today, what's going to happen tomorrow, and it just gets them into a whole different zone that they just fall right into sleep. So those are a few ideas. There's lots of ways you can create the ultimate sleep environment for yourself, and I challenge you to figure that out and make that kind of like the piece de resistance to your wonderful, awesome night's sleep moving forward. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click that notification bell and the subscription button so you never miss any of our great content. And before you go, you want to check out that pinned comment below for the Unlock Your Hip Flexors program, another amazing way to support fantastic sleep for yourself. Click that link. It'll take you to a page you can find out all about it. I use this program myself. I can't say enough about it. I'm Coach Tonya with Criticalbench. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.